Well, fantastic. There's always something, isn't there, ladies and gentlemen? But I think I've figured it out. Test, test, test. Yep, that's the right one. Sorry about that. I was just going off on why I was late. And now I have to explain why I had no audio at the very beginning of the program. That's because I still had my settings set out for my live streams of Fallout 4 VR. And I used a different microphone for that. I used a lavalier microphone for that. This guy, to improve my audio quality. But I'm not using it now. I don't need it now because I've got this nice little blue Yeti. So, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, welcome to Scotch and Smoke Rings, episode 438. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always, with the suspender set to maximum stun. Got a great show for you all today. We're going to be playing some Metro Last Light. We haven't played it for a while, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm working on a new Vegas video in time for tomorrow. I've got the video recorded and initially edited, and I've got my audio recorded. I just have to edit the audio and then edit or sync the video to the audio. And then we're good to go. Then I got my video done. So I'm going to be broadcasting for about an hour today. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Okay, so for those of you asking for me to start playing the game, no. The way Scotch and Smoke Rings works, the way it has worked for the past 9 years, is for the first 20 to 30 minutes of the episode, I sit in front of this microphone, I smoke a cigar, which is why I'm doing this, as an excuse to smoke cigars, and I chat with everyone who comes to the program. I'm still waiting for Fallout 4 VR. Man, I do Fallout 4 VR, people freak out about Fallout 4 VR. I don't do Fallout 4 VR, people want more Fallout 4 VR. I think I just need some Scotch. Where's my Scotch? We're going to be drinking some Johnny Walker Red Label today. I've got a little dab left in the bottom of my bottle. But thankfully I came prepared with a cup filled with ice so that we can enjoy some ice-cold Scotch. Oh no! Oh, that's it! God, that's the end of it. I'm going to have to nurse this cup for the remainder of the show. Early Merry Christmas, Oxhorn, says Hirokisa. 323. Well, an early Merry Christmas to you. Pleasure to have you on the program. I will be monitoring both the YouTube and Twitch chats, as well as the Stream Questions channel of my Discord server. So if you would like to make a question or leave a question or ask something, which I suppose is a question, that's the definition of what a question is, it's asking something, you're welcome to do so at either of those places. With a wonderful tip from the Dark Seraph, and it flew off the screen. Let me find it. Hello, my fellow Institute spies, Ad Victorium. Indeed. Hey, Ox, you ever going to finish BioShock? Yeah, someday. Have a lot of time ahead of me. Don't plan on dying anytime soon. So, maybe someday, when I've finished with the Metro series and all of the Fallouts, maybe I will finish BioShock. We will see. How was your day? Says Crane Gaming. My day was okay. It was an okay day. Mainly because I've just been extremely busy. Oh, I was going to keep... Alright. I've got this one saved from last night, but I found that... No, I'm just not going to bother with it. When I smoke cigars that I previously cut, or when you have to relight a cigar that you smoked earlier, it's just not the same. It kind of hits you all in the face. It's like, ugh. So, if you don't want tongue bite, if you don't want to get nauseous, just cut a new cigar. It's not worth it. After all, I'm paying for a cigar to enjoy the cigar, and if I'm not enjoying this guy... What's the point, right? But the miser in me is going, but Oxhorn, you paid for that cigar! And half of it is going to waste. Yeah. Don't talk to me. I understand. Jacob says, Merry Christmas, and have any plans with the family? Yes, I do indeed have plans with the family. We are planning on putting together a big family Christmas bash here at the Oxhorn household on Christmas Day, which I suppose I should say no video on Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, because I will, of course, be doing Christmas. So, yeah, just heads up on that. Final A Cowboy says, Hi, Oxhorn, how you doing? Doing very well. Pleasure to have you on the program. When did you have your first Scotch? Says Best Gold Cane Rose. It was later in life, I believe. I didn't have a sip of alcohol in college or in high school. I didn't even try Scotch until I was 24, maybe? I was a late bloomer when it came to this. But after having tried it for the first time, I really got to enjoy it. So enjoy your Scotch in a responsible manner, and it will pay dividends. Java says, hey Oxhorn, do you have a resolution on the other Fallout 4 t-shirts from Bethesda yet? As far as I'm concerned, yeah. I did get a response from Bethesda. They said they have no intention to, or they have no plans to open up new merchandising opportunities. They've got all of the merchandising agreements they need and want, so they don't really want to make new ones, which I can understand. But it means that, they also did not tell me whether or not what I was doing was legal or was lawful or unlawful. I said in the email I sent to them, I said, look, I just want to be up and up with you. I want to be up front. I want to sell these t-shirts. Here's a link to my shop. These are some of the designs that I've made. I want to make sure that this is okay. So if you want me to merchandise with you, then cool. I'd love to do that. We can figure something out. If you want me to stop, I'm happy to stop. But I'd prefer to work with you because we've got this audience here who would like to buy the shirts. You know, it's mutually beneficial. And they did respond, but they didn't even mention my shop. They just said, well, we're not looking to make new merchandising partnerships at this time. But they didn't tell me whether or not what I was doing bothered them. So I stopped making my shirts just out of an abundance of caution because I don't want to anger the Big B. And I have never heard from them before I reached out to them. I took the initiative to reach out to them. Maybe it would have been better had I just ignored it and just done it and, seen what would have happened. But I wanted to be careful, and so I reached out to them, and they said that they don't want to make new merchandising partnerships right now, and I can respect that, so I just took my shirts down. I may come out with other shirts in the future that are more ambiguous, so that, I'm not I made all of my own art. I hired artists, we made it all ourselves, I didn't reuse any assets from the game, so it was completely original, but I am referencing intellectual property from a Bethesda game, and since that's gray area, I just wanted to avoid the issue, and I took down all my shirts from my shop, with the exception of a few. I've got an Oxhorn shirt, and since it's just my face, I don't have to get anyone's permission for that. So we'll see. I may come up with more in the future. Oxbro, says Soul Evans. I just wanted to say I love your videos, especially New Vegas. It's my favorite of the series, and it's nice to see you paying attention to the DLCs. I can't wait for Lonesome Road. I also am looking forward to doing Lonesome Road. I'm getting a lot of comments on my videos from people who are anticipating Lonesome Road, and I'm really excited that they are so excited. However, I also beg patience, because as I have said from the very beginning, even at the end of my Old World Blues videos, I've said from the very beginning that I alternate DLCs between Fallout 4 and Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So after finishing Old World Blues, I did try to clearly state that the next DLC would be a Fallout 3 DLC that I do a video series on. And I'm getting ready to start on that, so stay tuned for that. By the way, we're going to be doing Point Lookout instead of Broken Steel. I know that the next one chronologically is Broken Steel, but the problem is that Broken Steel takes place after you complete the primary quest of Fallout 3. So I would have to rush through the rest of my gameplay of Fallout 3 just to complete the game, bypassing a lot of lore opportunities, just so that I could do Broken Steel. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bumping Broken Steel to be the last DLC that I cover for Fallout 3, and so we'll go on from there. So we're skipping Broken Steel, going right to Point Lookout, then I'm going to do Lonesome Road, then we're going to do Mothership Zeta, I think? I know Mothership Zeta was the last one. I think Mothership Zeta, then we will do Broken Steel. Okay? That's the plan. Letting everyone know now. So you're welcome to come to my comments, my video comments every day and continue to ask when it's coming. But, I mean, I've already said it's going to be a little bit. Still got to get through Point Lookout. That's the plan. Gypsy Rose Sharp says, I rewatch all of your videos while I crochet. I find your voice really relaxing. Also, I was watching your videos on doing the Bright Followers quest, and I wanted to give you a bit of advice. You could have gotten the fuel for them from the tiny rockets. Yeah, that's one thing I missed in that series, and I keep kicking myself over it. Sorry about that. Yeah, you could have gotten the fuel instead of going to Mr. Awesome, finding his body. Or what was his name? Mr. Awesome, Radiation Awesome, Radman, Radiation Man, something like that. Instead of finding his body by the irradiated site and then getting the isotope off of his corpse, you could have found a lot of those Repcon rockets, which the glowing agent of which is real rocket fuel, which is hilarious. But you could have gotten a bunch of those and brought them to the Bright Brotherhood instead. And I forgot to talk about that in the video, and I feel bad about that. But you are right. And I'm glad that you've been watching while you've been crocheting. We're both doing creative things at the same time. I love it. Anzel says there's a rumor on Reddit that the next Fallout will take place in New Vegas. I'm going to go ahead and quell that rumor now. It's very unlikely. Who would buy Fallout? I mean, here's the thing. You got to put your minds... you got to put yourself in the shoes of Bethesda. Look. Obsidian already made Fallout New Vegas. Bethesda owns the IP to the Fallout franchise. They made Fallout 4. They're thinking about their next game, and they go, oh, let's see, where should we make Fallout 5? Let's make Fallout New Vegas 2. No one would like that, because everyone is going to compare Fallout New Vegas 2, inevitably, to Fallout New Vegas 1, made by Obsidian. And Bethesda is, no matter how good the game is, will not come off on a positive... Well, they won't win that. They just won't win that, due to the nature of the community. So, they're not going to do that. First of all, they tend to make their games on the East Coast, because that's where the Bethesda headquarters were, near the Capital Wasteland in D.C. And they tend to focus on the East Coast, and I like that. I want Bethesda to focus on the East Coast. They can make all of the lore on the East Coast, and then Obsidian and maybe other people from the original games, they can bring those people on board to work on lore for the West Coast. So we've got two different teams of creative energy working on different lore stories on different coasts that are all within the Fallout universe. That's what I would like to see. I don't want Bethesda going to the West Coast. I don't want Obsidian going to the East Coast. Let's just keep the coasts separate. Different minds working on those, and everyone will be happy. That's where I'm at on that right now. Gypsy Rose says Mothership Zeta is last. You're going to find it interesting. Yeah, I briefly loaded up Mothership Zeta so that I could get some footage for my video on who dropped the bombs. And I sped through all of the conversations. So I still don't know the story of Mothership Zeta. I just read ahead to where the parts were that I knew I needed to get the footage, talking about abducting that guy who knew the nuclear launch codes. And I just closed my eyes and ran through the spaceship, you know, hitting bulkheads and stubbing my toe until I found the holotape, and then I hightailed it out of there. Because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So far I'm okay. I don't know what Mothership Zeta's about yet. Mr. Radical. Thank you, Death Jester. Thank you, Death Jester. Fallout Texas would be amazing. Fallout 5 should take place in Compton, New Orleans, or Savannah, Georgia. There are a lot of great and wonderful places to do this. A lot of people have wonderful ideas. The Enclave and Fallout New Vegas are called the Remnants, says Wired Paul. That's true. I really need to sit down and do a video about that. That would be fascinating. What about the middle, Oxhorn? What do you think we... And then his message got cut off. Well, the middle was done with Fallout Tactics. At least Chicago was done by Fallout Tactics. Now, I realize that Chicago is... that there's much more than just Chicago. Pardon me. Yeah, I mean, Fallout Oklahoma, Fallout Nebraska. Wonderful ideas. Hey, I'm not disparaging either of those two locations on planet Earth. I am sure they would be fascinating games. Fallout Detroit? Honestly, that would be pretty cool. What if Detroit... what if Detroit had not become Detroit? I mean, Detroit... The word Detroit is almost like a... It's like a joke word now. Everyone talks about, you know, government excess or moving companies overseas, and then suddenly Detroit comes into the conversation. But what if Detroit never fell? What if Detroit was still the heart of America's automotive manufacturing in the Fallout universe? What if, due to the advent of nuclear-powered cars, Detroit just became bigger and bigger and bigger? What if Detroit, Michigan was the gleaming jewel of technology and wealth in pre-war America before the bombs dropped? That would be an amazing place to explore, wouldn't it? J-Man gives me a tip, thank you, and then gives me another tip saying how to get Ranger Sequoia. Reverse pickpocket a weapon onto Hanlon that doesn't use 45-70 caliber ammunition with some ammunition. Pickpocket, or number 2, pickpocket his 45-70 ammo. He will eventually switch to the gun that you put on him, and then you can pick it up, or you can pickpocket Ranger Sequoia. Yeah, but that's still... I'm still stealing from the NCR. I realize I don't have to kill him, but I'm still stealing from him. It's hard to do on a good game, on a good person playthrough, right? Have you ever tried Stalker, says Marked. I tried Stalker. I bought all of the Stalker games. I spent 30 minutes in the first one. Actually, I spent about 2 hours in the first one. 30 minutes in the second one. Really hard for me to get into. The gameplay is just... not a lot of lore. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of lore, but there hasn't been a lot of lore that I have been able to see. Basically, all I've been doing is running around doing missions for the guy that was in the bunker, and then there's the whole artifact thing, trying to find artifacts. It's not really explained well in the intro tutorial of the game, so I find myself having to look up things a lot, and then there are weird engine issues with combat. It's just a lot of work for me to trying to enjoy that game. But I may take a look at the Stalker series again in the future. What do you think, asks Sawden, about Fallout 4's redesign of creatures, rad scorpions, sentry bots, etc.? Better or worse in your opinion, and would you like to see them return back? No, I think everything they've done for Fallout 4, aesthetic-wise, is better, in absolutely every respect. It's strange going back to Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas and playing it, having played Fallout 4, because everything feels a little boxier. It feels a little more awkward. The design for Fallout 4, I mean, I don't even know if it can be argued, it's just beautiful. The sentry bot is gorgeous. It's an amazing robot. You'll just watch it. Watch it move and you're awestruck. Deathclaws are terrifying. They're menacing. And then when you fight them and they growl right in your face, they're just great. Mirelurks look 10 times better. It was even an ongoing joke, which Bethesda talked about in their book, The Art of Fallout 4, that Mirelurks from Fallout 3 kind of resembled a guy in a suit. So internally, they always joked about Mirelurks as being the guy in the suit. So they, of course, had to change that for Fallout 4, and we have much better looking Mirelurks in Fallout 4 compared to 3 in New Vegas. Protectrons are sexy, says fake Gremblow. I agree. Protectrons are really sexy. Man, those robots are awesome looking. And I love the way they sound. Sun says, I disagree, but you do you. All right, I'll do me. I'm good at doing me. Wait a minute. Oxhorn, Stalker needs community mods to play well. Shadow of Chernobyl is probably the best. COC is a pretty cool mod as well. Make your own story, have a Stalker experience. Yeah, I read about that, and it's something I'm considering. I would have to install mods that make it easier to get into the gameplay, so that I could ignore the gameplay and focus on the story. We'll see. Wesley says, what do you know about the big NCR mod / game that's coming out soon? I have briefly heard rumor about that NCR mod for Fallout 4, but I don't know any more about it than you do. I'm not really in the loop to all of this stuff. People often think that I know insider stuff, that I know all these secrets. No, I mean, I sit in front of this computer for 14 hours a day making videos. I don't have an opportunity to talk to a soul, aside from my family. So, no, I don't know anything that people already know, that don't already know about that NCR mod. But it looks cool. Sounds fun. What's your opinion on the West Coast Brotherhood of Steel? I'll tell you what, I would really love to learn more about the West Coast Brotherhood of Steel leadership, because in every game, you know, so for example in Fallout 3, it was the West Coast Brotherhood of Steel elders who came together and agreed that they needed an East Coast presence, and so they sent Elder Lyons to the East Coast. Along the way he went through Pittsburgh, the whole Pitt fiasco thing happened. And it was from that moment that we get someone on the East Coast, and that's the majority of what we know about the Brotherhood of Steel. But what we see about the Brotherhood of Steel on the West Coast is not that impressive. So you go into Fallout New Vegas and you find Hidden Valley, and you see that the Brotherhood of Steel have lost to the NCR and are now in hiding in a pre-war bunker that has a military defensive technology that simulates sandstorms to keep them cloaked. And Elder McNamara is in hiding, and they do have one paladin that's trying to get them above ground, but their numbers are so few because they don't recruit externally. You have to be born into the Brotherhood to be a Brotherhood member. It's just, everything about them doesn't ring might and power like on the East Coast. And that's the thing. Like, if the authority of the East Coast Brotherhood of Steel is coming from the West, where is that authority on the West? That's what I would like to see. Sure, there's the Brotherhood of Steel bunker that you can go to in Fallout 1. I really need to spend more time in Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 to understand that. But from what I've seen in Fallout New Vegas, they did not have a big, strong presence on the West Coast. Maybe that's different in California, but I would love to see, like, some sort of Senate of the Brotherhood, where you've got all of the Brotherhood elders from many of the different chapters on the West Coast come together in the gleaming Brotherhood city of technology, where they choose the fates of the people beneath them, and they send their parties out to scour the United States. That would be fascinating. I don't know if we've really had that yet in the Fallout universe. But lots of cool potential there, right? Sun says, so when you finally jump into Fallouts 1 and 2, are we going to wait till you're completely done with one of the current games, or are we just going to start to see it blend into the channel's content? It's going to be a mixture of both. I have people hounding me. And if you read the comments on my videos, you'll see this. I have people hounding me for content from New Vegas 3 and Fallout 4. When are you going to do a Piper profile, Oxhorn? When are you going to do a Dogmeat profile, Oxhorn? When are you going to do a big video about Diamond City? When are you going to do Lonesome Road? When are you going to talk about the Legion? When are you going to do the Enclave, right? I've got a lot of that going on. So I'm only one man. I only have so many hours a day that I can make content, and yet the Fallout franchise spans all of these different games. So my focus right now is on 3 New Vegas and 4. I'm trying to get at least 2 episodes from each game done per week so that I'm mixing up content a little bit so that it's not all one thing. But that means that I really don't have time to throw my head into Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. Now, I did a little bit of that for my video on Iguana, and then I did a big video on Junktown. So I've done 2 big videos on Fallout 1. I'm still having problems getting Fallout 2 to work, but that's because I haven't really sat down to figure it out yet. And right now in Fallout 1, I'm a little bit stuck because I got to the hub, and there's so much there that it's overwhelmed me. Do I go talk with Harold? Do I go start taking the caravans? Do I go to the Brotherhood of Steel outpost? Like, it's a little overwhelming, so I haven't sat down to think about how I want to tell that story, because I have to architect, you know, the steps that I'm going to be telling that story so that it makes sense, so that I don't leave people behind. So, I will get to that point. I've got the games bought and ready, and I've already made some content, but my focus right now is 3 New Vegas and 4, for the moment. Jeff says, do you make a living off of YouTube? Yes, this is my job, which is why I take it so seriously. Asteroth says, so if the Brotherhood focused all of their efforts on the West, could they take the NCR? Not after what I've seen. Now, that could be... I mean, I could be wrong about that. I haven't spent as much time in California as I would like to, which I will do when I get to Fallout 2. But from what I've seen in Nevada, they just absolutely do not have a presence to take on the NCR. If the NCR can dominate California and have such a powerful force to fight the Brotherhood of Steel and the Legion and the Fiends and House in Nevada, that is a terrifying opponent to go up against. Makes me wonder how powerful the Brotherhood of Steel would have to be to defeat the NCR, aside from diplomacy, and whether or not that even exists. So, I mean, it's an open-ended question. I don't really know the answer to it, but it's certainly interesting to think about. Maybe we will find Bethesda thinking about that as well in the next Fallout. Who knows? Pride of Accomplishment says, can you please say end of dungeon steamer trunk? Yes, yes. I need to get a... I should get a shirt. I should get a shirt that's just got this big chest. End of dungeon steamer trunk. All with hyphens. Oh, that's great. That and rubble ramp. Apparently those are 2 phrases that people are constantly commenting about in the comments of my videos. Do you think Adam is real? Yeah. I do. That is to say, I think something purporting to be Adam is real. The whole mother aspect of Far Harbor, it's hard to ignore. I mean, yes, you have to drink this irradiated stream to get the vision, but someone more intelligent than you, or at least some other intelligence, brought you to the Shrine of the Mother, and somebody... I mean, how does that happen? It can't just be chance, right? Not only was it a hallucination that you had, but it was a hallucination that other children of Adam on the island have had. So you're sharing a hallucination. That's weird. If it was just a hallucination that the soul survivor had, I'd be able to dismiss it. I would go, oh, well, he or she drank from an irradiated spring, had an hallucination, it's not real. But then you go and you talk with the other children of Adam, and you find out that other people have had the exact same hallucination. That's where it becomes too coincidental to dismiss. So something is either pretending to be an emissary of Adam, or there really is an emissary of Adam called Mother. Who is she? I don't really know. Now, there is the supernatural in the Fallout universe, so that has clearly already been established from the Dunwich series of events, right? Dunwich Horrors, Dunwich Boars, the Dunwich Building, all of that. And then you've got the whole cabin. the Cabot family. So the supernatural exists. Now, is that supernatural really an alien technology? That has yet to be established. They're digging in the earth to find artifacts. Are those artifacts imbued with some sort of supernatural power? Maybe. Or maybe it's some sort of technology that we don't quite understand yet, which might be the reason that the Zetans came to planet Earth to begin with. Maybe that's what they were looking for, and then they just stumbled upon us, killing each other with nuclear bombs, and they're a little bit afraid. They're like, oh, look at these humans killing each other with nukes. Let's kind of stay out in the atmosphere with our ships and let them do their thing, maybe kidnap a few, and we'll get to hunting for this technology when the radiation dies down. I can sympathize with them on that in that regard. But, yeah, so is Adam real? I think he's real. I don't know what he is. I'm leaning against him being a supernatural godlike being and leaning more towards him being some sort of alien life form or perhaps a terrestrial life form that is so prehistory that we don't know about him in our own world. Either of those two things, him being there, a power being there, I mean, I think there's plenty of evidence that that's the case. Lethal Scientist says, Oxhorn, have you ever played Papers? Please, and what do you think of it? If so, I think it has some interesting lore that's reasonably deep for its price. I've never played a game called Papers, but I will make a note of it. Papers. I will look it up. DJ Jumble says, can you do a video about the Children of Adam? I plan on doing a series on the Children of Adam. They're a fascinating faction, and I really want to get into them. I've got a couple of series ahead of me that I'm working on. I'm wanting to finish the series on Diamond City that I'm doing. That will culminate in a big video about Diamond City and then a video on Piper. So that's kind of in my pipeline for Fallout 4. Then I'm thinking of maybe heading on over to Far Harbor and doing a series on Far Harbor, which I've neglected. I've done a lot of videos about Far Harbor, but no dedicated series to the primary story of Far Harbor, which is something I want to do. And in that series, I may do a big minor sub-series on the Children of Adam, because that's where their primary presence is. In the base game, really their only presence is as enemies that kill you on sight, or as a small little encampment within the crater of Adam. That's really about it. Sure, okay, and then the Sentinel site. Then you've got that one guy in the basement of the Sentinel site. But that's really about it. That's our entire interaction with the Children of Adam in Fallout 4. Now, in Fallout 3, of course, there is the guy in Megaton, but I don't know a whole lot. I don't recall seeing a whole lot more about the Children of Adam in Fallout 3. Now, it could be that I just haven't found them yet. Remember, it's been it's been almost 10 years since I last played Fallout 3. I played the snot out of Fallout 3 when it came out. But it's been 10 years or so I'm replaying it, and a lot of this is new to me as I'm going through and making this content for the channel. But yeah, I plan to touch on the Children of Adam in the future. Hey Oxhorn, what if Dogmeat is a descendant of the dog the sole survivor lost before the war? Possible. There are a lot of theories about the origin of Dogmeat. Perhaps he's a descendant of the dog that the sole survivor lost before the war. Perhaps he's a descendant of the original Dogmeat from Fallout 1. The interesting thing about it is that Mama Murphy, whose visions seem to be fairly true, another evidence of the supernatural having credibility in the Fallout universe, which is strange. Which actually shouldn't be strange to us now. I've always thought that the supernatural in the Fallout universe is a bit of out of place. But it's happened so frequently by this time that we can't ignore it. So yeah, Mama Murphy has real visions, and they can predict the future. Anyway, she seemed to know Dogmeat. How did she know Dogmeat? Did she know Dogmeat, or maybe she knew another Dogmeat? Or maybe she knows about Dogmeat's history. There's a lot to uncover. Papers, please. Not papers. It's papers, please. It's not just a bunch of papers. All right, papers, please. Making a note of it. There we go. Courier6 says, make a video about Fox. I will delete YouTube. You will delete all of YouTube? Man. I don't think Google would be happy about that, but hey, do your thing. I will eventually do a video about Fox. I don't respond to threats. You're threatening to delete all of YouTube, and that is an impressive feat. But go for it, man. If you've got the power, come on, show us all up. Delete YouTube unless I make a video about Fox. It'll come. Patience, patience. Gypsy Rose says Mama Murphy only has those visions when strung out on chems. Yeah, and if they were false, I'd say they were hallucinations and she was just drugged out of her mind. But the problem is that they're true. The problem that we have to figure out is how could they possibly be true? She gives you the password to shut down the courser at Green Tech Genetics. How does she get that password? Someone had to give it to her. She's not part of the Institute. She doesn't know anything about coursers or synths. Someone gave it to her. Someone, while she was drugged out of her mind, whispered that password to her to give to you. Which means there's some sort of supernatural presence in the Fallout universe. That's the only thing we can walk away with. If it was a lie, if it didn't work, then yeah, she's just a drugged out psycho. But it works! That's the problem. Aftermath says the Gary Vault literally gave me nightmares. Are you planning on doing it? Yes. Wired Paul says, when are you going to do the quest ED, my love? Likely when I start doing Lonesome Road stuff, because I hear tale that the iBots have a prominent role in the story of Lonesome Road. So I've been saving the story of ED until I tackle that. I think the mother's like the ghost people from the Dead Money DLC, says Phantasm, but instead of the cloud and the Mojave, it's the Far Harbor fog, explaining why she cannot die. That's only part of it. I mean, you are right that she cannot die, possibly because if she's a biological being, she has some sort of mutation like the other children of Adam that has made her compatible with the fog. But the problem is that she's not there, and then she's there. That goes beyond being able to survive radiation and into transitioning between realms, which is something like that's supernatural, right? Yeah. So I don't know. If all of the children of Adam that have had this vision and the sole survivor who has had this vision are not hallucinating and it's a real thing, then we have to account for what that real thing is. The nature of Mother is that she's not there, you drink the water, she's there. So either she's an Institute synth who's appearing from teleportation because she's part of the Institute, sent there just to throw you off or whatever, or she's some sort of creature with supernatural powers. Or she's not a biological being at all, and is a projected alien consciousness from an ancient computer buried beneath the earth that aliens placed here before humans evolved. I mean, there's any number of explanations, right? We just got to figure out what's going on there. I don't think it's in the game. Maybe they'll touch on that more in future games. Pointless says, Oxhorn, why do you have no VR game right now? Man, I just can't win. I just can't win. I really enjoyed Fallout 4 VR. I loved it. It was so much fun. I did 10 live streams of Fallout 4 VR. I beat the entire game of Fallout 4 in Fallout 4 VR. It's a lot of work for me to stream Fallout 4 VR. It's harder on my machine. It takes a lot more prep. And I can't smoke while doing it because I have this headset strapped to my face. And tonight, you know, I'm working on a new Vegas video. I still got to finish that, and I'm going to be doing a live stream tonight. And I want to smoke my cigar and drink my scotch, so I'm going to be playing Metro. Really, that's it. I mean... Mama Murphy is a synth spy made by Sean to keep you safe and protect the Commonwealth. The Institute knows because of the crows and can tell her things. Whoa! That would explain so much! Except when you kill her, she doesn't drop a synth component. That close, my friend. That close. That would be an excellent explanation. But she doesn't drop a synth component. Ugh. Kink in the chain. Is it the camera or the mic stand that's moving a bunch? It's both. I get animated when I broadcast and then I bang my hands on the table. And everything moves. Sorry. When are you going to do a video about Arcade Ganon? One of the reasons I need to get through the primary plot of the game is because Arcade Ganon's story has more importance later in the game. He's really more of a mid to end game companion to run with, and so most of his story takes place at that time. So I've been putting Arcade Ganon aside for now until I get further into the game. I'm quickly getting to the point in my playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, that I've done a lot of the early to low mid-range parts of the game, and I really need to progress in the story to get to some of the later mid and end game parts of the lore. So that's one of the reasons why I'm starting my New Vegas series, which again, I am not going to be publishing every week. It's not something that I'm going to be knocking out. Neither is it taking precedence over my DLC stories. So for example, I will be starting Point Lookout soon, even though I have not yet finished my Story of New Vegas series. So plan on that series being a long series that takes a long time to get through. Anyway, the reason I started that is because I need to chew through the first major parts of the story, finding Benny, confronting Benny, getting the platinum chip, deciding what to do with it. I need to get through all of that so that I can focus on other parts of the story like Arcade Ganon and the Ultra Lux Casino, some of the casinos, the tops, stuff like that. Also, there's Vault 21 that I've been meaning to talk about, which I haven't been able to talk about yet because I need to spend more time in New Vegas. So, I've got a method to my madness. I understand. I realize people are frustrated that every morning they don't see the video that they were hoping for, but that's my fault for talking about videos ahead of time. I just shouldn't have this show. I shouldn't talk about what I'm doing at all and just make it a surprise every day. Okay, I need to start playing Metro, otherwise I won't get to it today. So, let's pull it up and see what happens. Okay, music is off. Now, I haven't played Metro for about a month, and I've done a lot of changes to my computer, so I don't know what's going to happen. So please bear with me while we try and figure this out, okay? Alright, I'm going to fire on up Steam, and I'm going to play some Metro. Cross your fingers. So far, so good. Alright, you'll see my screen in just a minute. Let me get it all loaded up first. They make you go through this long, unskippable intro sequence, which is a little frustrating. Even though the music is great. Okay. Huzzah!
But the shooting was so loud. And now there's nothing.
And what if they won?
Okay, I have no idea where I am. Where was
Why
I?
didn't they come for us then?
They might come soon.
Oh, that's right.
Let's just wait.
Do you think they killed them all?
They could have. Or it could be worse.
Oh no! Oh, there we go.
How?
Women were with them. Yasha, if ignorance is bliss, you're the happiest guy around.
So, are we going to help our guys or what?
What help can just the two of us be?
If they're pinned down, we could flank the bandits.
Let's get ready then.
So you're not going anywhere. Who's going to protect the women and children?
Where can I get
We can't
ammunition?
let the bandits butcher our guys.
That stranger is going to help us. Looks like he's worth 20 of you anyway.
Can any
We're
of you
an
sell me
idiot to
ammunition?
believe you're Andre the blacksmith. Oh, it's safe. You'll get there in no time. And you dragged me here. And now
Yes.
we're all gonna die because of your stupid blacksmith.
Shut your mouth.
These are great boots. Buy some.
And lots of people before us.
Come on, buy some. These are select
Just
stock.
to be robbed by bandits.
You can't carry that much.
What's he supposed to know about the bandits?
Too bad you
Then
can't fit
shouldn't
them.
tell people it's safe. Such bullshit.
You're trying to take
How
too
about the
much.
TV? He did save us from them.
And what difference does it make if we're
You
still
can't carry
being
that
killed
much.
by bandits?
I just want 3. Can I buy 3?
I don't even want to look at you.
You tell me, Yasha, what made you flee?
Too bad you can't
Mobilization,
fit
of
them.
course.
A boy
See?
your age has no business with a rifle.
They always overlook me.
Okay,
Then
so
was
I have
summoned
enough.
to duty. Mom said with my luck, I'd bite the dust the second I hit the front line. So, they got me to this caravan. Which seems like a mistake.
You're still young. You'll find a place for yourself if we get it. But I
That's right. For those of you who want me to read comments, sadly, while I'm playing the game, it's harder for me to see the comments, so I'm probably not going to be able to read all of your comments right now.
Shut your trap, bitch! Enough of your whining. Nobody's counting. You do it first if you want. I'll stand one. Okay. Come on, mama. Come on. Let them What? You think you're too good for us? Quiet, you sucking a bitch! Shut up, brat!
Well, I think that's all I needed to know.
How are you doing down there? You need any help with that?
Is she dead? What? Was I too slow? Was I too slow? What happened? Why is she dead? I thought I killed him fast enough. Well, I probably messed up something there. I'll stick with my guns for now. Okay. My poor car is a mess.
What are you doing there so long? We searched everything already. We had a lot of shit here, but I missed it.
I love my little pea shooter here. Think I got him. I'm so bad at this! Ah. So what are these? Raiders? Opportunists? I don't even know what faction these guys belong to whom I just killed. Oh, crap. Communists? I bet they're communists.
Eat some of this, bitch!
Oh, you jerk! Come on now!
He was a good guy!
He shot at me! What do you mean he was a good guy? Golly. Am I killing good guys right now, chat? am I killing good guys?
Thanks, man. Untie me now.
Oh. I'm coming.
Look. Thanks. Thanks, man. I thought I was done for.
You got
They
it.
took everyone still alive. The kids, the women.
Where'd they go?
I'll move the rail car so that you can drive through.
Thank you.
You follow them. Be careful in the technical tunnel. I heard the bandits talk about the trap there.
A trap in the technical tunnel? Okay. Oh, the John. Okay, I gotta get my car. Thank you. And is this just another way to sneak over? Nope, it's a dead end. Alright. You should probably take off your mask. Thank you very much for that. See, I read chat every now and then.
Thank you again. I'll just rest here for now.
I'll go have a look.
If some shit happened, let me know.
Okay.
I don't know where he's coming from. I think he's coming from here.
Fuck. They are surely taking us high.
Bandits, good. Okay, so they're bandits. I don't have to worry about that. I remember Pavel saying you can't save everyone. You have to choose the lesser evil. In the Nazi concentration camp, he's probably right. But one thought has been nagging on me ever since. We are all damn heroes saving humanity. The Nazis killing anyone, however, slightly mutated. Really? The communists eager to herd everyone to one state and thus introduce peace into the metro. Me, who in order to save people has destroyed a whole new sentient species, we're talking of salvation all the while killing, and that was the way of man always. Right. Surprised my character, Pavel, thinks that the Nazis in any way are good.
What the hell? Whose wheels are these? Fellas, we got company here. Guy thinks he's fucker number...
Who's there?
It's just my imagination, that's all. What's up with all these graphs? No matter how I stand. Oh.
So is the only way to get the good ending in this game just not to kill anyone? Ooh, oh man.
Who goes there?
Man, the bitch is here!
What the? Oh!
Oh, men, let's get the beach on that!
We're taking
You pig! Hey, guys!
Keep it in peace! Shit, he's down! You bastards! We gotta make them pay! Like avenge our comrades!
Boy, this would be a shooting gallery if I wasn't outside of my car right now, wouldn't it? Holy cow. But now it's a shooting gallery for me. I think that's it. And I do emphasize on I think. I don't know. Like if you saved that woman, you got would have got a moral point. So I could have saved the woman, but I didn't do it in time. Oh man. Doggone it. I love this. Advertisements in-game for real-world products. It's great. At least it's related to the game. What is all of this? Gate. Yes. I missed the key somewhere. Where's the key? That must have been the trap he was talking about. Well, it was worth a try. You can see it was worth a shot. Sorry, I think I died a little inside there. Scotch.
To guard Judy. The boss said if we let just one Smith fight, he's gonna have our ass.
No shit. Let's go then. What the hell? Whose wheels are these?
What is up here? Another John. Did I see ammunition just a second ago? Oh no, looks like I can switch the tracks up here. Okay, I'm just wasting ammunition. Oh no. Should I go down the big dark tunnel lined by torches covered in skulls? I wonder if that's where I'm supposed to go. And sadly, I can't speak Russian. Let's do it. Why not? Alright, let's do it. Let's see what's down the dark and scary tunnel covered in skulls. I am not gonna be late this time.
Shut up, the lot of you, or I'm gonna slice you good. He's dead!
A good man torturing children and women? Yeah, get off my lawn. Why did the women stop screaming? Why did the woman stop crying? Oh God, they didn't kill him, did they? Where are they? Somebody told me once that metro stands on water. Usually it can't get inside the tunnels. The lived-in stations have pumps working day and night to remove the water seeping in from the outside, but there are also places like this where the tunnels have turned into subterranean rivers and the stations into islands. That won't stop me. I will continue my pursuit even on water. The Tretyakovskaya is already in sight. They're dead! I took too long! I ran in guns blazing! How did I take too long? The women and children are dead! Oh. Bathtub Hogfoot! Oh! Just what I've always wanted. How did I take too long? I don't even see their bodies, though. Where are they? I didn't bother stopping to loot? Oh no, were they behind that door? How am I supposed to get through here and find a key quick enough to save their lives? I don't even see the key hanging anywhere. Where's the key? Whoops, did I just drink a booze? I think I did. Well, maybe it's in here. Where'd they go? Where did they go? For the love of God. Ah! Well, that's the end of the line. Oh, crap. Okay. Starting to have regrets. Ruined my car. Okay. All right. Let's see. This little pea shooter will not work that well on these monsters, I don't think. Oh man. Aw. Oh! I remember the gorillas. Where was my last save? Great. Let's try this again. I can't get through there? Because of the water, I guess? Okay. Alright, let's try this again. One more time before I give up for the night. One more time. Run and gun? Should I run and gun? Ah. I'm hopping in. This is me hopping.
Shoot! Here! This bitch!
Oh, you're freaking
Crazy! What were you thinking going there alone? Okay, you can tell me the tale later. Right now we're entering the fair and plotting a course to the base.
And this is what I do to calm down at the end of the day.
The surface starts melting. The familiar rail cars are now joined with boats and fishermen. One of them appeared just in the nick of time. Soon we'll be docked at Venice. Pavel is most probably already there.
I don't usually fish in this tunnel, but I had a hunch they'd be biting pretty good here.
Don't chop me up.
Shit! Damn it! Oh, that was close. Look, you've got to be careful here. There's more than just fish in that water. You see for yourself pretty soon.
Oh no!
Grab the railing when I warn you.
Good grief. Okay, dark water. No. Anyone with thalassophobia? I sure hope not. This will mess us all up. Okay. Some people don't understand why the whole metro isn't still flooded. The others wonder how humanity could last for 20 years on a shelter intended to be used for a few months at most. Some say that man is just as hard to kill as roaches or rats, but I don't think that's the only reason. I always thought we exist for a purpose. We just don't completely...
Are you alright? Oh, sorry, I didn't warn you about the logs. Thought you'd figure it out by yourself.
I'm just stupid, that's what it is. Gotcha.
Stay quiet now. They don't like noise. And this is their work. See how they just rest there? Easy, easy. We're not here to harm you. Nobody knows what they mutated from. We call them creeps. Ugly as hell, but they're good eating, especially with beer.
Great! Beer! That'll make it better. No noise! Don't make any noise! Try it, buddy! I'm trying!
We've got to get out of here!
Yeah!
Don't let them on board!
Okay!
Turn us over!
Alright! Oh, that's great!
Look at them!
He's laughing. What am I supposed to hold on to?
Hey, freaks! Catch these!
Oh!
Great kid!
That's some cooked sausage.
No, you don't!
What's in the box? What's in the box? Aha! There you go. Let's just throw the whole box. Come on. Dump it in there. Good. Toss it. Seal it up. Oh no! That's a tidal wave.
Hold on, Artyom!
Okay. I'm holding!
Oh, wow. This doesn't happen often. Looks like we lucked out.
Oh, God, I like it.
The subterranean
Venice!
An island on the dark waters of underground rivers. You always hear rough stories circulating about this place. I hear it is all one huge den of thieves. But there is something I know for sure. Pavel reached Venice, and if I'm not late, he's still here. Finding the Dark One is still my main mission. But now I see I must also uncover Corbett's plans, so that I can warn the Order about them.
Wow. Seems like we made it. Hey, are you asleep there?
Not
What
likely.
do you think of the local fish, huh? Aren't they charming? Seem moody, though. Looks like somebody went through there before us and angered them.
I wonder who.
Open up! The fishermen are back from the seas!
Yeah, I see you all right. And who might that be?
I picked the guy up in the tunnel.
You don't think I should have left him there, do you?
What? And make my life easy? Of course not. What is and I keep raising you lower the gate. You could bring a girl for once.
So the Reds did
And what
come.
would you do with one if I brought her, Semenovich, huh? You're way too old for that stuff. By the way, you better lower the gate, or else a woman might actually come. The one dressed in black and bearing a scythe.
Never fear. Semyonovich is going to outlive you all.
Hey, Fidor, how's fishing?
Not even a bite, unless you count the shrimps. And they got a few more out of me than I'd like. I was saved by this lad, aren't you?
Nice to meet you, Artyom. Thanks for your help. So what exactly did happen?
The shrimps were all over us as soon as we got to the fork. Almost took my raft apart. What the hell gives? I wonder.
Oh, that's easy. The Reds passed through here, going to meet our esteemed neighbors. Didn't seem to care what they stirred up.
Ah, so that's why.
Look, Artyom, I suppose there is no hiding. Venice is full of gangsters. Julek, the scum of the earth. So don't you start any shit. I don't want any trouble.
Sounds good. I'll keep to myself.
Simon! Hey! Simon! I want to talk to you! Look, do you know where might our red guests be?
In the brothel, of course. Who's that with you?
This is our
Vanish.
the scourge of the shrimps.
You should see him shoot. I never met anyone quite as good as him.
A gunslinger, eh? Would you help me take out a few bad guys?
Simon, I freaking knew it! This is getting old.
But almost all of them are gathered at the storage facility. Look, if this isn't the right time, I don't know what is. Between the two of us, we might be able to take them out.
I told you countless times already, and I'm going to tell you again. No! I don't need this shit around here. Do you get me?
Yeah, I got you.
Right. Then I'm going to leave you two.
Okay.
That's right. Calm your horses, buddy. Let's try and keep as many humans alive as we
Station
can.
of criminals. How is it he's in charge?
Just wants to keep the peace.
Simon, you're good with engines, aren't you?
Yeah, what's up?
Don't know. It was all right yesterday. Now it's all coughing and spitting smoke.
Ignition, perhaps?
Well, let's take a look.
Just like Far Harbor. Whoop. Hey.
When is it going to bite?
Wait a bit. We're going to catch us a fish, and Aunt Nadia is going to roast it.
How do you know we're going to catch fish, not cancer, like Mama?
What do you mean, cancer? You don't catch it with a hook.
But Mama caught it and died. I don't want to catch cancer.
No, we're not going to catch it. We have a detector now.
What's a detector? A thing to scare cancer away?
No, Pumpkin. It shows how much radiation there is in a fish.
Does it show cancer?
Well, if you eat fish which does not have much radiation, you won't get cancer.
Oh.
I wish we had this while your mama was alive.
And how does this thing know it's a fish or cancer biting?
Look, Pumpkin. You're scaring all the fish away with your questions. Go, play with the boys while I catch dinner.
I don't want to. The boys are all stupid with their stupid games, with those stupid boats. I'm hungry. Does the fish bite yet, Papa?
No, darling. Not yet.
As a father, the 20 questions I can relate to.
I don't know. Let's wait some more.
Well, that's horrible. That poor kid.
So, I'm just back from Oktyabrsk. While we were there, me and the boys went to that freak show.
So?
They had this beast called the Terror of the Night. Little shit, ugly, all misshapen. I've looked them in the eyes. At night, I still see him shake.
Come on, let me pass.
All right, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in our next episode, we get to explore Venice. I can't do it now because I've got to get a video done for tomorrow morning. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast here. Thank you for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. It was good to get back into Metro after such a long break. Almost forgot how much I enjoyed this game. I hope you guys have been enjoying the live stream. We'll continue with our next episode of Metro Last Light next week. Same Ox time, same Ox channel for episode 439 of Scotch and Smoke Rings. In the meantime, I have some audio to edit. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Best Gold, for the warning. I will have to thank you. Okay, I'm getting a lot of wonderful people giving me a heads up. So I may need to do this part off screen just to get through this part of the town. Thank you for the heads up. Anyway, whatever we broadcast next week, it'll be family-friendly. Well, as family-friendly as a game where you have guns killing people and bloody, gory explosions and killing monsters can be. That is what the broadcast will be. Lots of monsters, no boobies. That's my promise, okay? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, with a brand new video. Cheers.